Good day peeps! Today I'm going to show you how to have your own GoPro scope cam mount. Check it out. Okay, so I've been playing airsoft for a very long time and always wanted to have a good angle of people that I'm targeting using a scope and with my GoPro 3. So unfortunately, before I used a fisheye mount for taking airsoft videos, good, but it's not that interesting. So if you like Novritsch, if you see Novritsch playing, that's a good example of how to mount. A lot of people are doing it differently. So like Novritsch, for example, when he started to do his airsoft vlogs, he had two scope mounts, one for his eye and the other one for the camera. So that's heavy load when shooting. So there are some ingenious ways of doing it, but it's very expensive. So there's one called this is very expensive, the Eagle Eye, the $1,195, put it in your scope. And this is an ingenious way of doing it. doENS created one very cheap way of sharing his 3D printer OBJ object. All you have to do is have it printed. Here in the Philippines, it costs around 150 to 3D print this model, so it's very cheap, 150 pesos. And all I did was buy a fiberglass like this one, or a polycarbonate glass. And then of course just coat it with the tint. So for me, I have this very high reflection mirror type of tint that you usually use in cars. So instead of buying a prism, Cellus offered a prism where you put a very expensive $24 prism inside. So the purpose of the scope cam is to put this in your scope, and then you can still have a glimpse while the GoPro is mounted on top. And there's some ingenious way of people doing it, and I think this is the cheapest one. It costs around $68 for doENS, and doENS also offer 3D design. If you have a 3D printer, the OBJ is already up for grabs. You can check out his website. That's free, so you can have it printed. So here in the Philippines, I had it printed here for 150 pesos. So this is what it turns out. So all I need now is a scope. And I tried this to one of my friends, Leopold. Scope works perfectly, fits snugly, but I don't know yet how it works using the fiberglass that I created. What I do here is I just insert this one clear fiberglass, so I just cut it and then I put it inside, and then it's slanting that way, and now you can have a glimpse here while the camera is taking a photo above it. So this is one GoPro optical mount that I see online. It's very expensive. It's $1,100. Some people also use like side mounts, and as crazy as that one where you can just find the GoPro viewfinder as your source to monitor. This is the closest thing I can get where you can use the scope and the camera at the same time. Like I said, you can go to shapeways.com and search for GoPro scope cam mount, and it costs around $68.94 just for that scope cam, and have it. If you have your own printer or print service, you can just access the file here at bit.ly, and that's it. And then this is the dimensions and layout for the scope cam mount for 3D print. It's OBJ ready. Yeah, and the best thing, it's free. You can just download it if you like. So this is the actual unit that I had it printed. The only thing I did is I just cut a small piece of this fiberglass into this unit, and then I can give you this size. Cut I did was 35. This one is size 25. So that's the my recommended cut. So once you got this clear cut, now you can buy this tint, two-way tint. So this is a see-through, so once you gain closer, you can see through this with a strong light. So the good thing about reflectorize is you can see what the camera is taking. Look inside. This is my point of view, and this is where you need to insert the scope. right here. So maybe you can drill some holes here to have a screw to tighten up so it will not loosen. So instead of me putting a prism, I just put the smooth surface on top, and then now, so make sure it's like that. And what I'll do is I put some glue gun here to stick. So once you reach the edge, you just lift this up, make sure that the edge is there. So now you can see it's okay, so it's see-through. So what I'm looking here is see-through, but here it's reflectorized, so I can see my hands here. So example, this is your target. Wait, so now you can see the target right there. So that's the purpose of that, and this is where we put the GoPro. And as for here, you can still see through. There's enough light, the scope. So if it's magnified, example, this is your scope. I don't have a scope yet, so if it's magnified, so if you have good tremendous amount of light, you can see through with my hand there. So it's time to put in the GoPro. So in Zelo's approach, he had a GoPro with the waterproof casing above, but in my case I just scratched just a little bit to fit the lens. As long as it's totally covered, then that's it. You can just put it here. I just rough the edges here. That's it. So I put some glue gun here and on the other side, and then let's see how it works. Okay, so this recommendation only applies for my GoPro 3. I don't know if you can apply to other GoPros. For me, it's GoPro 3. So what you do is you turn it on, open your Wi-Fi, so connect to your GoPro. So in my case, it's then your GoPro. Once it's connected, access your GoPro app. There's the GoPro app. Okay, so access the camera, control your GoPro. That's it, it's already. So I try to move around, so there's a latency. Yeah, there it is, there's my hand. I'm going to use a glue gun to apply glue here and here, and then put it inside. There, just a small application here. Make sure not to have some overcoating on the other side. This will make sure that it sticks there. That's a good application there. It's now good time to, hope it's ready. Okay, so it's now stick properly. It's time to apply in this area. You can use a stick if you like. So I already had a small application here to apply above. It's gonna be messy, but you can quickly remove. That's a good thing about glue gun, so it won't get up. So I'm just removing some of the excess glue gun. I think this will work. Apply it here. Just gonna hit this up a little bit. So I hope it sticks like that. Very messy. I can clean it up with a pry tool. You can remove the excess glue by hand. As long as this sticks and it's not moving, then that's a good sign. So even if you shake it, it's not going to fall down. Very nice. Okay, so example, this is my target. This little lady here with the cherry. And we're gonna use the GoPro app and see through the lens. Let's see how it will be captured using the GoPro. So it's now properly aligned. So as long as there's light coming in from the other end of the hole, so in this case I can see through, but since this is a tinted one, so that's why. And as long as there's good light, I can still see the object right there. So right now I'm gonna put a magnifying glass, so this acts like the scope. So let's see how it's recording. So Okay, so now it's taking, I'm gonna take a closer look. So imagine this is magnified, and then it will also work on a magnifying glass. So did it change with and without? So that's with the magnification. So as long as you can see inside, that's good. That's a good sign. But if there's a scope, that's another question. So I still don't have a scope. Maybe I could test this with a scope. But for now, this is okay. This is a very good use for your airsofting needs. It still depends on your camera and your scope. So mine, I still have to adapt with what scope, but it works with the Leopold like I told you. So I think I'm going to buy that one. Or if not, you try to scratch this surface until you have the proper diameter, and also the way you install the camera. So still depends on you, but I thank Celus NZ for having this 3D print available online. It's a good way of taking your action shots using the GoPro cam. So now let me see if this will work flawlessly on my GoPro, and I hope you like this video. Please do subscribe to my channel. Peace. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the upper left and on the lower right. Peace.